I just want to provide a brief video about mixed use budgets. These are budgets that are the revenue comes from a variety of different places. There are two ways that we can look at mixed use budgets. One is, which jurisdictions of government provide which services, and then the other kind of mixed use is when um, you've got some kind of public-private partnership. So in Portland, Oregon, there was something called Resolution A. And this was an agreement between the city, the county, and the state on how services were going to be delivered. Um, the city of Portland provides what they call urban services. They label the city services as urban services, and this is public safety, transportation, parks and rec. The county of oh, I can't even pronounce the county that Portland is in provides what's called social services. Um, this includes library, health and human services, including providing the state level health aid, health insurance, Medi-Cal, or health health insurance for poor people. Also, they provide the funding for the hospitals and things like that, and they provide corrections. Now, one of the things you'll notice is what exactly is a urban versus a social service? For instance, why is Parks and Rec an urban service, whereas libraries are a social service? I mean, in many ways, the designation is not so much arbitrary, but not necessarily completely clear on what is urban and what is social. Um, Another way you'll see this is that public safety is a city level responsibility, but corrections is a state level, as a county level service. And so you have, kind of a division within one category. The larger category of criminal justice is divided between the police on the beat and the courts, jails, and probation officers. Um, the state of Oregon provides education funding, and so in Oregon, all the money goes to the state, and the state redistributes it to schools. Well, Portland residents believe that the amount being spent by the states on schools was not sufficient. So the city of Portland actually kicks in additional funds for city of Portland schools from the city budget. And then there's public-private funding. This is where you have either a nonprofit organization or a uh, uh, private business providing funding for some of the city services. So we're going to look at a couple of different examples where we kind of see how all this works together. So there is in Portland, there's something called the Chinese Classical Garden. This is apparently a major tourist attraction, and they spend a lot of money on it. Um, Part of the budget comes from sector fundraising. Basically, this is the Friends of the Chinese Classical Garden, individuals who donate money for its upkeep. The city provides a contribution of about $6 million per year. That is the direct general funding. This money comes from a lot from across the city. And then about $7 million of the fund comes from local improvement district assessment. Basically, the area around the classical garden contributes money to the classical garden. I mean, this is like a hotel area and stuff like that. So you have kind of a mix of public and private funds. Then there are mixed revenue. So the downtown streetcar, this is a public transportation project. There is $17 million comes from a local improvement district, a local funding. And about $6 million is paid by other governments, federal and state governments, to the public transportation. Um, a big part of it, though, is paid for by fees, by parking garage revenues, and then the city contributes some direct money, and then there's some miscellaneous funds that come from a variety of sources. So you can see that that there are public-private partnerships, and then there are also intergovernmental partnerships in providing actual services.